it's always refreshing to see people that are just like, you know what, I don't fucking care what anyone thinks. This is my subject matter. This is my opinion. Take it for what it's worth, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I will say there are some people who probably deserve to be canceled. I mean, you're doing really bad things, but
totally
the vast majority of people that have been canceled really didn't do anything to get canceled for. And, you know, I don't know. I could go on about that for hours and hours.
Yeah. When it comes down to it, it's like it's a pretty bad symptom of your society when your comedians and your musicians and artists can't express themselves completely because they're worried about falling in line with whatever the prevailing status quo narrative of the day is. I mean, we've been seeing that, you know, in the 80s it was the Satanic Panic and and whatever it is today. I mean, we all know what it is today. So it's just it changes every 10 years, so you got to stay with it. And it's like that Simpsons meme. I used to be with it. I knew what with it was, but now I'm not with it anymore, and it's going to happen to you. You know, it's the old guy like pointing at him. It's like, it'll happen to you. I used to be with it too. So, you know, that's just part of growing up and getting older and just trying to, you know, take it one day at a time. You just never know what the new thing is going to be, right? So just be yourself. That's all you can do.
Right.
Yeah. I saw this thing today. I can't remember what the context was, but I thought it was so good. It was something about how like real strength, like if people are like really strong and have like, you know, defined sense of self and stuff, like they're not trying to censor everybody or like shut everyone up because they're secure in, you know, what their beliefs are and what they believe. So they're fine with letting people talk or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know how we got to a place in society where you can have your view, I can have my view, and if they're different, we can't be friends.
Well, we hate each other.
I don't know where that came from. I mean, I have friends that believe all sorts of things I don't believe in. Still my friends. I respect them. I don't have to agree with somebody to respect them.
Totally. And honestly, if you can't talk to people, if you can't even talk to someone, you'll never see eye to eye, you know? And it's like even though I don't see it eye to eye with a lot of people, I want to talk to them. I want to learn, you know, why they feel the way they do. Maybe they'll change my mind, you know?
Yep.
I mean, how else can you get rid of blind spots, you know?
Totally. And it's like, that's what this country was founded on, like the freedom of expression. It's like one of the first bedrock principles of everything we stand for, you know?
Yep.
But I'm getting off the rails. What would you say are, you know, not to go back to this, but like what would you say going all the way back to your roots? Like, what are some of the bands or artists that really inspired you to do music? Either one of you guys.
So I have two answers to this question. So in addition to just being, you know, an enjoyer of listening to music and songwriting and stuff like that, I'm also into recording a bunch. I do all the recording for us, and mixing and stuff. And so as far as like the songwriting and the just playing guitar and vocals and stuff, my number one guy is Devin Townsend. I love Devin Townsend.
Fuck yeah.
And he was the one who really just seeing that it's just one guy recording all this stuff in his bedroom in like the early 2000s. Like that was crazy to me, and that just one guy could just pump out all this stuff, and it's like, oh well, there's no reason why I can't do that too. And so that's what got me into recording, and then through studying recording, I became a huge Mutt Lange fan. Anything Mutt Lange has touched, I'll listen to it, from, you know, Shania Twain to Def Leppard. His records sound amazing, and he's also a really forward-thinking guy. He was doing all the weird stuff we do now with computers, like back then with tape machines, like non-linear editing and like recording one string at a time to make sure there's no like ringing and stuff like that. Just like crazy stuff that, you know, has definitely progressed the art forward. So all that kind of nerdy stuff gets me going.
I love it.
So yeah,
great answer.
We're both nerds for it. Steven went to Duquesne, degree in musical composition. I went to Full Sail University for entertainment, business, and show production. So, and I grew up, I heard you talking about country. I grew up backstage at Grand Ole Opry. So that was my intro into the music business. But
did you see any of the old timers?
Yeah. So my godfather was Bill Monroe. which is what I was doing back there. And I remember like Winona Judge babysat me. Hank Jr. is like a very close family friend of ours.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Porter Wagner, been around all those guys. So that was my exposure to show business per se. But where Steven and I really, really gel is we dive really deep into everything. You know, when Steven's behind the board mixing, I'm kind of like the Rick Rubin, you know, shutting my eyes, listening here. All right, we need to go, you know, we get really nerdy about this stuff. I mean, even down to like, you know, we're analyzing BPM and key combinations and different chord progressions and what works here. You know, we nerd out on this stuff.